It feels like someone built a huge, invisible wall around Meghan's past to keep everyone quiet. It seems like there are certain secrets that were locked up tight on purpose so nobody could see them. This silence is what makes the whole story so shocking and big. Just because people are quiet, it does not mean she did nothing wrong. Usually, silence means that someone is hiding the truth and does not want us to talk about it. This leads us to the next big surprise. It is a surprise that changes everything we thought we knew about Meghan's life before she became a royal. Before she ever met Prince Harry, and long before the big wedding or the newspaper headlines, people say that Meghan had a secret friendship with Prince Andrew. This was not just a person she met one time at a party. It was not a stranger she waved hello to. It was a close connection. People who know about this situation say that Andrew told his friends that he knew Meghan a long time before she became a duchess. He said their friendship was much more personal than they ever told the public. This is the part of the story that nobody talks about. If Meghan and Andrew really were friends in the past, it means she did not enter the royal world as a stranger or an outsider. She was already connected to the family. This changes the whole story. It makes us ask questions that the palace never answered. How did they meet each other? How close were they really? Why did nobody ever admit this? And the most important question is, why was this secret hidden when Andrew got in so much trouble? If Prince Andrew lost everything because of the bad people he hung out with, and Meghan was part of that same group, why did only one of them get punished? Why did Andrew take the fall while Meghan stayed safe? Was there someone powerful protecting her? Was the palace scared of a bigger problem? Or maybe Meghan's past was just too dangerous to show to the world. Whatever the reason is, this part of her life was sealed shut like a vault until right now. The next clue in this mystery takes us to a place we did not expect. It takes us out onto the water. It leads us into a world that is connected to Jeffrey Epstein and straight into the center of the trouble. When you look at a story like this, you have to look for patterns. The places matter and the people matter. In this case, there is one name that connects everything together like a bridge. That name is Karina Shuliak. She was the last girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein. She said in public that the only times she ever flew on private planes or went on big yachts were when she was with Epstein. These trips were not just fun vacations for regular people. They were part of his private world. They were part of his inner circle where he controlled everything. Now, this is where Meghan comes into the picture. In the year 2014, photos came out that showed Meghan on a yacht. This put her in the same fancy and exclusive lifestyle that Karina talked about. It was a space that was very close to Epstein's world. It was not a cruise that anyone could buy a ticket for. It was not a charity party. It was a private boat. When you connect this photo to the stories about her knowing Prince Andrew, the picture gets even more worrying. It is the same timeline, the same group of friends, and the same powerful environment. This does not look like an accident or a coincidence. It looks like she was close to it, and being close matters, especially when a big scandal blows up later. One person falls down and loses everything, while the other person walks away without a scratch. If Andrew was destroyed because he was in that world, then Meghan being near it makes us ask, what did she know? And why was this never talked about? The yacht is more than just a picture. It is like a doorway. It opens up a chapter of Meghan's life that was never explained. Nobody ever questioned it, and nobody ever talked about it in public. That silence is where the real story starts. The closer you look at it, the clearer it becomes. Meghan was not just standing near the storm. She was standing right inside of it. When Prince Andrew's scandal blew up, there was one name at the center of it all, Virginia Roberts. She was not a reporter or someone looking from the outside. She was the woman who made the claims that brought Andrew's world crashing down. According to reports, Virginia didn't just want the powerful men to answer questions. She allegedly wanted Meghan Markle to be a witness. She did not want Meghan because she was famous or because she married Harry. The claim suggests she wanted Meghan because she was considered a close friend of Prince Andrew in the past. That phrase is very heavy. It means someone believed Meghan was not a stranger to Andrew's private life. It means she might have been there. She might have known things or been nearby during the times that the whole world is now looking at. The reason for asking for her is simple. If Meghan had a personal friendship with Andrew before she met Harry, she might have seen things. She might have heard things. She might have been around the places that other people only whisper about. And here is the scariest part. If Meghan truly had nothing to do with that world, why would anyone even think of her name? Witnesses are not picked by random chance. They are chosen because they might know the truth. But when the legal trouble started and the pressure got high, Meghan was never called to speak. Her name just disappeared. Her connection was never talked about in public again. It was like someone took an eraser and wiped that chapter of her life away. Instead of getting answers, the world just got silence. But silence does not erase history. It only buries it deep underground. The deeper you dig, the more you can see that Meghan was not just dropped into the royal life out of nowhere. She was already touching the edges of elite power before she ever met Prince Harry. This brings us to the next big turn in the story. How did Meghan get into those fancy circles in the first place? When Meghan moved to Toronto to film her TV show, Suits, she wasn't famous yet. She was not a royal, she was not known around the world. She was just an actress who wanted to be successful, but she didn't have the keys to the most powerful rooms. That changed very fast. According to sources, something big happened when she arrived. Marcus Anderson came into her life. He was an important man connected to Soho House. Soho House is a private club known for famous members, secret parties, and rich connections. Anderson didn't just meet Meghan. People say he recruited her. He introduced her to the highest levels of society in Toronto. He opened doors that most people never get to see. Through him, she reportedly met powerful people and got into circles linked to money and power in New York. This wasn't just random partying. It was positioning. One introduction led to another one. One group led to the next group. One network led to powerful access. By the time her name ever entered Harry's world, Meghan had already stepped into fancy environments that were close to royalty and wealth. And according to the earlier claims, she was close to Prince Andrew's world too. Her rise to the top didn't happen overnight. It was built step by step. The closer she got to power, the more her path crossed with names that would later become explosive. But here is where the story takes a darker turn. According to sources, Harry wasn't Meghan's first choice in the royal family. Someone else was. It was someone older, someone who was already inside the palace, someone tied to Epstein. It was Prince Andrew. Before Harry ever came into the picture, sources claim Meghan had her eyes set on Prince Andrew. She didn't want him as a teacher or a friend. They say she allegedly wanted him as a boyfriend and a strategic target. This changes the story completely. It suggests Meghan wasn't just floating through rich society. She was aiming up. She was calculating and choosing. She was putting herself in the right place to get titles, status, and royal access. But standing between Meghan and Andrew was one woman, Sarah Ferguson. Fergie wasn't just Andrew's ex-wife. She was his protector. She was his ally for a long time. According to the claim, Fergie stopped Meghan from getting close enough to Andrew to start anything serious. That wall forced Meghan to change direction. If she couldn't reach Andrew, she needed another way into the monarchy. That is where luck or strategy shifted in a big way. Meghan didn't expect to end up with Harry. She didn't expect to catch a prince who was young, popular, and right in the spotlight. But when the chance appeared, she took it. Once she had Harry's attention, she didn't let go. What started as a plan to move toward Andrew suddenly turned into the biggest royal jump of the century. Meghan didn't just enter the royal family. She married right into its heart. That move would change everything. It changed things for her, for the monarchy, for Harry, and for the secrets that are now hiding in the shadows. The next part of this story takes us into the fallout. It is about the realization, the cover-up, the threat, and the one truth big enough to destroy it all. When Harry married Meghan, he believed he had found freedom. He thought he found love in a partner who was not part of the royal machine. He thought he was escaping the cold halls of the palace and starting a new life built on honesty and trust. But according to sources, that belief didn't last. As time passed, whispers began to reach him. He heard quiet comments and old stories. He heard about hidden connections. People mentioned Meghan's past linked to Prince Andrew long before Harry ever met her. At first, he refused to believe any of it. He defended her. He protected her. He stopped talking to his family who tried to warn him. But eventually something changed. Claims say that Harry didn't just hear the rumors. He finally accepted what he didn't want to face. He realized the royal family's warnings weren't about jealousy or being mean. They were the truth, and that truth reportedly hit him very hard. Sources say Harry became disgusted and distant. He was overwhelmed. He could barely look at Meghan without remembering the past she never told him about. He felt trapped in California. He was far from his family and far from home. He was tied to a marriage that was now full of questions. For Harry, this wasn't just a scandal. It was a betrayal. If Meghan had a personal connection to Andrew and had wanted Andrew instead of him, then Harry wasn't chosen for love. He was chosen because he was useful. That realization shattered him. While Harry fell apart in private, the palace was making decisions in public. These decisions showed that something bigger was happening behind the scenes. You would expect the news to blow up over Meghan's alleged past with Andrew. You would expect big headlines and investigations, especially after the Epstein scandal destroyed Andrew's good name. But none of that happened. Instead, the palace and the media stayed silent. It was complete silence. According to the claims, that silence wasn't an accident. It was a plan. The palace had three big fears. First, they worried about Harry's mental health. If the truth came out, it could break him completely. They didn't want a prince collapsing in front of the world. Second, they feared a new Epstein scandal. If Meghan was tied to that world, the monarchy could face a problem much bigger than the first one. Third, they feared the whole system falling apart. If the public found out about Meghan's past with Andrew, the palace would look reckless and careless for letting her into the family. So instead of telling the truth, they buried it. No statements, no questions, no investigation. Meghan was protected, not because she was innocent, but because exposing her could burn the whole monarchy down. and while the palace built a wall of silence, one person on the inside refused to stay quiet forever. That person is Prince Andrew. Imagine falling all alone. Imagine watching your reputation get destroyed. Imagine losing your titles and having your future erased, all while someone who shared your world and your history walked away untouched. That is Prince Andrew's reality. According to the claims, Andrew is furious. He is bitter. He is tired of being the only one punished while Meghan stays protected. He feels he took the fall for a world she was also part of, and now sources say he is ready to talk. He is ready to leak everything. He isn't doing it for justice. He is doing it out of anger. And he isn't alone. Sources claim that Sarah Ferguson is on his side. Together, they hold knowledge about Meghan's past. They know about her connection to Andrew and the hidden chapters that the palace has kept quiet. For the first time, the danger doesn't come from the newspapers. It comes from inside the royal family. It comes from a man who was silenced for years, a man with no future left to protect, a man who could blow up the truth with a single statement. The moment Andrew speaks even one sentence, the world will turn upside down. Once he talks, silence can no longer protect Meghan. This leads us to the final and most explosive point. It is the truth that could end everything. Every story has a breaking point. Every secret has a moment when it can no longer be hidden. In this story, that moment is coming. According to sources, there is one truth that could destroy Meghan's royal life forever. It is a buried reality held by Andrew, Fergie, and even Eugenie. It is a truth tied to the Epstein world and the reason the palace stayed silent. If that truth comes out, Meghan doesn't just lose her status. She loses everything. She loses her image, her identity, and her future. The monarchy itself could be shaken to its core. Meghan didn't just marry into the family.